BBNTrick back with a little something different for y'all. Today we got the Kevin Durant file. So y'all already know what happened with KD. Allegedly, he got exposed for another burner incident. That's like, why the fuck is this shocking, man? Nigga, like deadass. I made a little TikTok on it, but who's his channel name? TheFlightMike made a whole 21-minute video on this. So we're gonna watch this. I love y'all. Thank y'all for the support. Follow Twitter, follow TikTok, BBNTrick, follow Instagram, BBNTrick. This video's on it.
If you could give up one thing for the rest of your life, I'm gonna go Twitter.
He capping like shit. He not giving up no fucking Twitter.
How do you describe Kevin Durant? What's going on with his personality? This guy seems obsessed.
NBA star Kevin Durant allegedly caught taking digs at teammates from burner account as chats leak. But yeah, I saw the videos. He was all on his phone during All-Star Week.
He's still doing this.
We reacted to all those
Kevin
tweets.
Durant might have just ruined everything. I mean, look, I give this man all of his respect. He's a 15-time All-Star.
Damn, imagine how his teammates feel. I ain't gonna lie,
NBA
KD.
champion, a 2-time Finals
Once
MVP.
I see you, KD, once I see you in practice, bro, you gonna talk shit. Word.
One of the most effortless jump shots in the history of basketball. At 37 years old, he's still averaging 25.8 points per game on the Houston Rockets this season. He's shooting over 50% from the field. He ranks 3rd in the entire NBA in minutes per game. And no one's really talking about this because LeBron James is also defying father time. But what Kevin Durant is currently doing is amazing. During All-Star Weekend, while every other star in the league was laughing and having a good time at the festivities in LA, Kevin Durant was caught on camera, and the look on his face tells you everything you gotta know. He was glued to his phone, pacing around the court, looking stressed, and the reason why? The internet was in the middle of exposing what they believe is Kevin Durant's latest burner account.
It's like, KD, come on, gang.
His legacy against some fan. The messages here are really, really bad. I'm talking about leaked group chat messages where this account is allegedly trashing his own teammates.
Bro, he talked Curry. His Jabari, he called Jabari the R word, bro. Say goon, like Kyrie. He called Russell a double cocaine beer.
Out by name, saying he can't trust guys to make a shot, comparing his former team to literal dictators, and even saying he'd be better off on the Charlotte Hornets than the Houston Rockets.
Wait, hold on. I didn't even see that. Wait, what?
And even saying he'd be better.
Hornets got better young players than the Rockets. Me on the Hornets, me on the Rockets. What the fuck,
the
KD?
Rockets. Bro,
I didn't even see that shit.
On the Houston Rockets, and he's already trying to jump ship to a different team. Now, here's the thing. Nothing has been confirmed. Kevin Durant hasn't said a word about this, but the evidence that fans have put together is wild, and we're about to break.
You don't need to say a word,
because this isn't even the first time Kevin Durant has been caught up in a burner situation. This is like his 3rd time, and that
which is fucking insane,
exactly what makes this thing so believable to so many people. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? If you know anything about Kevin Durant, you know this man lives on Twitter. Like, he genuinely lives there.
He loves that shit.
The most active NBA superstars on social media.
Talking about him, I would give up Twitter.
KD doesn't have a filter. He'll respond to a fan with 12 followers at 2 in the morning, arguing about whether he's better than LeBron. He'll get into it with media members. He'll drop takes about other players. The man does not care. And honestly, for a while, that was kind of refreshing. In an era where every player has a PR team scripting their tweets.
Wait, that ass.
Being himself. Look at how PR trained LeBron James is when he is asked about one of the most sensitive topics in the world right now.
If I have fans over there, I've never been there. If I have fans over there, then you know, I hope you have been following my career. I hope I inspire people over there to not only want to be great in sports, but I want you to be better in general in life. So hopefully someday I can make it over there.
The guy knows how to deflect every controversial topic and question that he gets asked. And what I'm saying is Kevin Durant is pretty much the opposite. He's typically himself. But the problem with Kevin Durant on social media is that being himself sometimes means saying stuff that gets him in serious trouble. And the first time it blew up in a really big way was back in September of 2017. Let me give you a history lesson.
Was he on the Warriors?
What happened.
He was on the Warriors
KD
then, right?
Just won his first championship with the Golden State Warriors. He was the Finals MVP. He left the OKC Thunder the summer before, and everybody had
blew a 3-1
for joining a 73-win team. The narrative was that he took the easy way out, that he couldn't beat him, so he joined them. And even though he won a championship, the criticism didn't stop. People were still coming for him.
I have a question for y'all, and y'all can be honest with me. Do y'all think Kevin Durant could win a championship leading a team? And I know. He led the Warriors.
Night, a Twitter user named Cole Cashwell tweeted at KD asking him what his motives were for leaving OKC other than getting a championship. Pretty standard stuff. But what happened next was one of the most embarrassing moments in NBA social media history. KD responded to this fan, and what he said was insane. He said he didn't like the organization or playing for Billy Donovan. His roster wasn't that good. It was just him and Russ. Read that again. He didn't like the organization. He, third person. The internet immediately figured out what happened. KD meant to post that from a burner account, not his real one. He accidentally tweeted from the wrong account, and in doing so, he confirmed what a lot of people had suspected for a very long time. KD had secret accounts that he used to anonymously defend himself online. The whole thing went viral instantly.
You can't make this shit
everywhere.
up, man.
People were calling it Tweetgate. Sports outlets were running segments on it, and it became one of the most defining NBA moments that had absolutely nothing to do with basketball. Here you have a guy who finally won an NBA
I remember that shit too,
championship,
bro.
who was the finals MVP, one of the best scorers to ever play the game, and he's spending his free time creating fake accounts to argue with strangers on the internet about his own legacy. KD eventually addressed it at the 2017 TechCrunch Disrupt event. He said he took it too far.
I do have another Instagram account, but that's just for my friends and family, so I wouldn't say I was using that to clap back at anybody, but I use Twitter to engage with the fans, but I happen to take it a little too far. And that's what happens sometimes when I get into these basketball debates, or, you know, what I really love is just to play basketball. I went a little too far. I don't regret clapping back at anybody or talking to my fans on Twitter. I do regret using my former coach's name and that former organization that I played for. That was childish, that was idiotic, all those type of words. I regret doing that, and I apologize to him for doing that.
He said he doesn't regret clapping back at fans, but admitted he went overboard defending his OKC exit. He later told GQ that he'd woken up from a nap and forgot to log out of his main account. Most people would have been embarrassed. They would have deleted their burners. They would have never done something like this again, and they would have moved on with their life. Not KD. In 2019, he went on ESPN's The Boardroom and straight up admitted that he used burner accounts.
I wanted a place where I could talk to my friends without anybody just butting in my conversations or taking everything out of context, because I enjoyed that place.
How'd you come up with that idea, though? Were you like, yo, I'm just going to create this account, I'm going to start going?
Yeah, I mean, I had an Instagram account that I just used for my friends and family and just turned
Okay,
it on.
that I see what KD is saying, because like if he tries to interact with any other thing, people will see it, blah blah blah. So he makes a burner account to engage with friends and family. I get that, but KD, bro, like you don't keep it at that,
Twitter
bro.
as
Like
well.
you,
It's like it was a cool place for me to just be me instead of worrying about Bleacher Report. Or
you're talking to
Barstool,
other people, you're
mixing up
reacting to
anything
other
I wanna say
people.
to CJ or my friends
Like, are you
back
Tay
home,
Too
you
Smooth?
know? I guess
You're the original Tay Too
like,
Smooth.
out in the public, I guess.
Then in 2020, he went on the All the Smoke podcast on Showtime and doubled down.
I didn't like to use a burner phone. I would have said, I'm Kevin Durant, I'm going to cuss you out. You talk some shit, I'm going to talk some shit. I'm going to speak my mind.
I'm still going to do the burner thing. I'm still going to do that. There's some shit that you just got to be like, these folks don't always...
He told Alex Rodriguez on the Corp podcast that same year that I still have burners that I use for sure. And honestly, at the time, people kind of let it go. They laughed about it. KD leaned into the joke. When Meta launched Threads in 2023, he literally tweeted from his verified account, "On Threads with a burner, come find me." It became part of his brand. KD's a burner guy. It became a meme.
Damn, this shit got 104K. 12.9 million views, 2023.
Here's where it gets really bad. Those burners weren't just used to talk with friends. He wasn't just innocently defending his legacy. Those burners were used for something way more sinister that can alter Kevin Durant's reputation and his career for the rest of his life. All right, so let's get into how this whole thing started. It's February 15th, 2026, All-Star Weekend in Inglewood, California. KD is about to play in his 16th All-Star game.
On that damn
phone.
phone.
Celebratory. But Kevin Durant, being Kevin Durant, is on Twitter. He gets into an exchange with a fan about the NBA.
I remember he's into the line of every measure trophy. There
is redesigned trophies. It's pretty harmless stuff. KD says that the trophies look fine. The fan disagrees. Standard Twitter back and forth. But then a user named Pranav Sriraman jumps in and flips the whole conversation. Instead of talking about trophies, he starts pressing KD about his investment in a drone.
Damn, KD, you got ratio like a motherfucker.
He sold drones to the IDF. Pranav hits KD with, "They look cheap and uncreative." There, I answered your question. Will you answer my question about Skydio, a drone company you invested in, selling to the IDF? Or will you stick to your brand of deflecting and ducking? KD doesn't respond. Crickets.
Damn!
The thread keeps going. And
cut your ass,
another
KD.
user named BasedFrog23 enters the chat and drops what would become the bombshell of All-Star Weekend. He replies asking if KD will address the burner account under the handle @GetHigher77, calling out how all of KD's friends appear to be in a group chat connected to the account, and how the user has been trashing his teammates in those chats. And then the screenshots stop dropping one by one, and they don't stop. Within hours, the account goes private, but the damage is already done. The internet has seen everything. Before we get into what these messages actually say, we need to talk about why fans are so convinced that this account belongs to Kevin Durant. Because even though nothing is confirmed, people have put together some pretty compelling circumstantial evidence. The first piece of evidence is the owl. The account @GetHigher77 uses an owl as both its profile picture and banner image. And here's where it gets interesting. KD's verified account @KDTray5 tweeted that same exact owl gif back on February 9th, 2021. The burner account was created in August of 2021, just a few months later, using the same owl image. Is it possible a random fan took that image and used it? Sure. But the connection is there, and fans noticed it immediately. Evidence number 2 is the shared block list. An account called @CGBBurner, also known as Can't Guard Book, which is a pretty well-known Suns fan account, posted that they're blocked by KD on both his verified account and the alleged burner account. Think about that. If the burner was just some random fan, why would it have the same people blocked as KD's real account? That's a pretty suspicious overlap. The third piece of evidence is the inner circle. The people in the group chats connected to this account reportedly include individuals from KD's inner circle, private coaches, league friends, people who would have access to behind-the-scenes basketball information.
And they expose your ass,
have
KD.
a huge following, only about 75 followers, and it was set to private, which is exactly what you would expect from someone trying to keep their burner under the radar. And then there's the player perspective. This is the one that really seals the deal for a lot of people. The messages themselves sound exactly like Kevin Durant. The tone, the frustration, the specific references to plays, coaches, and teammates.
The KD recruiting Damian Lillard.
Person player perspective. Stuff like coach called that play to Alpi, and every time out he got me sitting in the corner. These are not takes a random fan would have. These are things someone who is actually on the court would say. And evidence number 5 is KD's own admissions. We already know KD has burner accounts. He's admitted it multiple times on All the Smoke in 2020, on the Court podcast, and in his 2019 boardroom interview. And as recently as October 2025, he went on the Pivot podcast and talked about using social media as a quick release for his emotions that he doesn't want bottled up.
So I see these comments and I see when people say different things. It's hard not to see it, but I don't want to build up all of this hate towards, media or fans or so I just say what I feel in the moment. And
so when you add all of that up, the owl picture,
I see where,
the shared blocked accounts, the inner circle connections, the first-person player perspective, and the fact that Kevin Durant has openly admitted to using burners for years, it's really hard for people to just wave this off as a troll. Is there a chance this is all fake and some dedicated fan created an elaborate roleplay account? Absolutely. But
it's like damn, you gotta have some sort of Lex Luthor type hate towards KD. Like, if you doing all this shit.
Public opinion has already made its ruling.
I don't even think Reverse Flash would do this for Barry, bro.
Now we get to the messages, and these are really bad. I'm gonna warn you guys right now, some of this stuff is rough, because if these messages
we already reacted to them.
KD went after everybody, his current teammates, his former teammates, coaches, everyone.
Like, KD, you just got to the Rockets, bro. Like,
the account posted about Alperen Şengün, who is Houston's franchise center, their all-star this year, the guy who just replaced Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in the all-star game, and the supposed future of the franchise. The message said, "Coach called that play to pass to Alpi, LOL. I'ma turn the ball over with this team.
Shitty
I don't
ass.
care. Your your franchise player can't shoot or defend. That's a way bigger issue than my turnovers. Remember, these guys are your future. Then it gets worse. About Jabari Smith Jr., the second overall pick in 2022, who Houston drafted to be a cornerstone
Katie, this was
piece,
fucked up,
the
bro.
account wrote, "I can't trust Jabari to make a shot or get a stop," and then used a slur to describe him. This is a 22-year-old kid that the Rockets literally traded for Durant to come mentor. The whole reason Houston brought KD in was to help develop players like Jabari Smith Jr. and Alperen Şengün and Amin Thompson. And allegedly behind closed doors, he's in group chats calling them out like this. And it didn't stop at the Rockets. The account even said that the Hornets have better young players than Houston, and that he'd be better on Charlotte than on the Rockets.
So Katie, why did you go to the Hornets, bro?
Always greener on the other side for Kevin Durant. He
Yo.
just got to Houston, a team that finished second in the Western Conference last year, and he's already looking at the streaking Charlotte Hornets. But it gets
They would have traded, the Hornets would have traded KD for Miles Bridges and some other bullshit.
worse.
I don't know.
Let me walk you through what the account allegedly said about
Who did the
KD's
Rockets trade
former
for,
teammates, because nobody was
KD?
safe.
Dylan
Let's
Brooks,
start with Devin
Jalen
Booker
Green?
and the Phoenix Suns. Remember, KD spent
I
about 2
think
seasons
it
in
was some
Phoenix,
other
and
shit.
apparently that experience left some scars. The account compared Booker and former Suns head coach Frank Vogel to dictators, and not just any dictators. The message said 2 dictators, Stalin and Hitler, Mussolini
Like,
and
that's
Kim Jong-un.
fucking crazy,
I mean,
nigga.
come on, that is insane. The
That's
account
fucking
also
crazy.
said the Suns are my team when we lose and Book's team when we win, which honestly gives you a pretty clear window into the frustration, because that's something only a player would feel. When the team wins, Booker gets the credit. When they lose, it all falls on KD. Then there's Kyrie Irving. KD and Kyrie were supposed to be the dynamic duo in Brooklyn. They chose to team up together, but there were times where things got a little weird.
In my past life, like I said, I was you. I was you. I was you. What you are now, that's what I'm up here. Same mentality.
They brought in James Harden to form a super
Yo,
team, but
I remember
injuries,
seeing that shit, and
controversy,
KD's
and
face had
team
me weak,
dysfunction
bro.
blew that whole thing up. The account said something along the lines of Kyrie being on his best behavior around the European, referring to Luka Doncic in Dallas, but treating his own people, meaning KD, like they owe him something. It's a pretty deep cut if you think about it. KD is essentially saying Kyrie was a different person around Luka than he was around him. Then we get to Russell Westbrook, and this one might be the funniest, even though it's disrespectful. The account referred to Russ as a triple-double cocaine bear. I'm not even gonna lie, that's an absolutely wild thing to call somebody.
Like, how do you think of that shit?
Comparing how OKC Russ passed the ball more than whoever they were talking about currently. One chat member pointed out that Russ averaged a triple-double that year, which is true. Russ averaged 31.6 points, 10.7 rebounds, and 10.4 assists in the 2016-17 season.
I remember that
The
shit
season
like
after
it was
KD
yesterday,
left,
bro.
and the account basically dismissed it like it meant nothing. The Steph Curry and Golden State messages are interesting too. The account said, I started holding Steph accountable in film and people looked at me like this, with a meme attached of someone looking confused. The implication being that KD tried to hold Curry accountable in film sessions and the Warriors organization didn't take kindly to it. Another message said something about how if you don't screen and pass up shots for Steph, you're getting waived, which honestly feeds into the narrative that KD
was on a heater with this shit.
That the Warriors system was always Steph's system, everyone else was just there to support it. There was also a comment about Steve Kerr that referenced the time Michael Jordan punched Kerr, which is a wild thing to bring up in a group chat. Now, this is all consistent with how Kevin Durant felt about Golden State. If you remember in his podcast with Draymond Green a couple of years ago, he mentioned the reason he left Golden State was because everything about the Draymond Green and Kevin Durant situation was swept under the rug and they never spoke about their problems openly. But the funniest part of all is what he said about Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, of all people, got a shout out here. The account allegedly said, I swear I miss Ben Simmons. At least that dude would give me the ball. When Ben Simmons is the guy that you're nostalgic about, that's when you know things are bad. But it also tells you something about KD's frustration. In Brooklyn, Simmons was widely criticized for refusing to shoot. But apparently from KD's perspective, at least he was willing to share the ball. Yeah. And about James Harden, the account described him as slightly delusional, but I understand him, which is actually one of the tamer takes in this whole leak, but still not something you want to say about a former teammate. Now here's where this whole thing gets even more wild, because while these screenshots were going viral, KD was physically at the All-Star game, and cameras caught everything.
Yo,
Videos
look at bro's
started circulating of Kevin
Yo,
Durant pacing.
I know y'all seen the video of them doing the All-Star intros. Bro, KD's face, It looked like bro was guilty.
Completely
It looked like bro was
his
guilty.
phone. His expression was tight. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't engaging with other players. While other all-stars were laughing, dapping each other up, and enjoying the atmosphere, KD looked like a man who just found out his secrets were all over the internet. Because, well,
it was.
There's one clip in particular that went super viral where a staff member tries to redirect KD, and you can see him force this strained smile before turning away. It's the kind of body language that screams, I know something bad is happening right now, and I'm trying to hold it together. Multiple fan accounts shared clips of him constantly checking his phone throughout the entire night, even while seated on the bench in his warm-ups, and his actual performance in the All-Star game reflected the distraction. KD finished the night with just 12 points across all 3 mini games, shooting 5 of 15 from the field in 28 minutes. For a guy who's averaging 25.8 points per game this season, for a 15-time All-Star, that's an awful showing. In the championship game, he failed to score a single point in 6 minutes and missed all 4 of his shots. His team got demolished 47-21 in the final. Was it just a bad day? Maybe. All-Star games aren't exactly known for giving maximum effort, but the timing is impossible to ignore. While everyone else is having fun at the biggest NBA party of the year, KD looked like a man watching his world burn in real time. Now, I gotta be fair here, not everyone's buying this story, and there is some
At least KD didn't talk shit about Reed Shepherd.
Some legit reasons for skepticism. The biggest argument against it is simple. KD doesn't need a burner to talk trash. This man will respond to a fan account with 50 followers from his verified account at midnight on a Tuesday. He literally does not care about saying what he thinks under his own name. There's also the fact that screenshots can be faked. None of the leaked images include verified metadata, IP confirmation, or any kind of platform authentication. Social media impersonation happens all the time, especially with high-profile athletes. Someone could have created this account, built an entire persona around being KD in group chats, and we'd have no way to tell the difference from the screenshots alone. Do with this what you will. The NBA
you gotta have no life to do that shit.
To All-Star Weekend. They didn't invite your boy, so make sure you subscribe so maybe I could end up there in the future. Neon was one of them, and he reportedly talked to KD directly and claims Durant told him that the account isn't his. But that's a denial through an intermediary, not from Kevin Durant himself. And what is Kevin Durant gonna do? Come out and say, yeah, this burner that makes me look bad is definitely me? But here's the most important part. How does this affect the rest of the Rockets season? Whether the account is Kevin Durant's or not, the damage is already done, because perception is reality in the NBA, and right now, the perception is that Kevin Durant is secretly trashing his young teammates behind their backs. Think about what this means for the Rockets. Houston is 33-20 at the
They're 33-20?
They signed KD to a
$90
million extension.
They're not that good.
2025, with the specific purpose of having him mentor their young core and lead them toward a championship. The whole point was that KD would be the veteran presence that
I'm gonna be honest. I'm a hater. Bro, Houston's first round exits.
Guys like Şengün,
second round max,
Smith, and the Thompson twins develop into winners. And now those same young players might be seeing their supposed mentor say that he can't trust them to make a shot in private group chats. Trust is everything in a locker room. And when your franchise player,
yo, you think the Rockets going to losing? If they go on a losing streak, bro,
and saying the Hornets have
crazy.
Better young players than your team, that's a problem. Jabari Smith is 22. Şengün is 23. These are young guys who look up to a player like Kevin Durant. How do you look him in the eye in practice knowing he might think you're trash? The Rockets don't play again until Thursday against the Hornets of all teams. So we'll see.
Wow.
Then. If reporters press him on it, or if he just does what he
That's fucking crazy.
Nothing happened. But this isn't going away.
Rockets, y'all better win that game.
And in the age of screenshots, nothing ever truly stays private. Now, if this is your first time watching a video on my channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications, because otherwise you may not get recommended any of my content again. Aside from
the TheFlightMike? TheFlightMike. W fucking video. Yeah, KD. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Just in the off season, man. Or no, not even off season. Right now, nigga. Right now, bro. Delete Twitter off your phone. Delete social media, matter of fact. Fuck all that shit. You don't need this shit, KD. Like, you're Kevin Durant, gang. Kevin fucking Durant, gang. You're a fucking bucket. One of the best scorers in NBA history, nigga. What are you doing on Twitter talking about some... How you hating, bro? Drake in the game. Like, shut the fuck up! But that'll do it for the end of this video, y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all for watching the video. Guys, the NBA is back. So get ready for some reactions. And I love y'all. Follow the Twitch, follow TikTok, BBNTrick, follow Instagram, BBNTrick. And I'm out this bitch. Peace!